Grand rising, grand arrival, grand return. Peace and blessings to the righteous and the repentant alike. I'm Chief Sophia of the AmaruKhan Band of Indians, and this is our calendar for our next moon cycle, the galactic moon on the Jubilee or Zolkin calendar. You can screenshot this, and I will have it available in my what is that thing called, on my community page shortly, this graphic, so that you can use this. So it's my responsibility to announce the next cycles. This one is particularly important because today is the day where you have to let these entities that work with you know that you're going to be calling for their evaluation. That is going to take place on this calendar with the Pisces full moon, which is a total lunar eclipse. And the rule is you have to give them 3 nun-day notice. I'm going to go through what all of this means, but I just want to put this out here first. It is the most important thing. And today is the start of the nun-day cycle, because yesterday was a day off of the cycle, and so I couldn't do it yesterday. But today is the first day, basically the first legal day of the cycle. And so you have to give them 3 nun days notice. And this is the 3rd nun day. So in 3 nun days from now, what is that date? September the 7th, 2025, all of these spirits will be brought up. Our entire spirit team will be brought up for evaluation by the Creator to see if they have done what they're supposed to. And that will be the time when they are evaluated. And also, that's the time when we will submit our new contracts. Now, you know me, every September, I tell everybody, make your new financial contracts, make your new orders, get all the stuff that you want to get done for the year together. Also go back and evaluate your spirit team for the last year, see if they did what they were supposed to do. And that's going to be really important this year because now we have an enforcement mechanism. So the great thing about this calendar is that we know definitively when things are supposed to be enforced. Part of the problem has been we did not know how to enforce these pledges, these different agreements that we made with the Creator, because obviously, I mean, I'm not going to rehash the entire last 3 years of my channel, but there's a hierarchy, and the hierarchy has to be followed. And every entity, positive or negative, incarnated or uncarnated, has to follow the calendar. And basically, because we did not know when to enforce things, a lot of these negatively polarized entities and their positive counterparts have been taking us for a ride. Deliberately or not deliberately, I cannot tell you. But I can tell you one thing, they haven't been doing what they're supposed to. So now we have the cycle, the calendar, enforced by the Creator, the one that was given to us to make sure that we get our Jubilee. So this is a perpetual Jubilee calendar. That's what this is. This keeps us out of the hair of those whatever entities. Those people who follow this calendar will enjoy the benefits of Jubilee. Now, the crazy thing is most people follow this naturally. It is your natural instinct. So you don't need my calendar. You need to follow your natural instincts. But a lot of people's natural instincts have been co-opted by these parasites. Now, we are fasting. We are fasting against this parasite equity. And what I'm noticing is that a lot of different kinds of parasites are coming up. Not just the ones in the equity. This is the parasites in our community. This is the parasites in our government. This is the parasites in animals that's not supposed to be there. All kinds of parasites are coming up. Now, why would the parasites all be showing themselves? Well, when you get something out of your body, it shows itself to you first so that you know what it is. Everything has a name, like I've always said, and therefore it must show itself. So as these parasites are being removed from around you, they're revealing themselves. And so this calendar puts that on a cycle. So the galactic moon, all right, we're just going to go in order. And it doesn't have the title part on it, because this is a part of a larger document. Eventually we will have a whole thing with this, and it's the things that can be done with this calendar are incredible, but it's not secret, and therefore I'm going to put it out here on the internet for free, and I'm going to act as the leader, the pontiff in this scenario, because it's the leader, the spiritual leader, specifically the pontiff, who is supposed to call the start of the month. Now there's going to be another video where I do the actual call to the start of the month. I'm not ready to do that quite yet. I have a few more things to put together for that, but this is important because, like I said, today is the last day to call. Today is the day. 3 nun days from now, we are going to call out our spirit team, and they need to be evaluated. Every single person who has, especially if you've been doing the new moon and full moons with me, and you've been working with these different entities, and they didn't do what they were supposed to, like in my case, 3 nun days from now, we're going to call them out. Okay? And they're going to have to answer for the fact that they were supposed to do X, Y, and Z, and they didn't do it. And this is a continuous thing. So we'll talk about that as we go through the calendar. Okay, so the very first line on the side is the day in the Tzolk'in cycle. So now remember, the way I calculated, no one calculates it like this. I calculated based off what I was given, a way that I calculated. If your birthday falls in this 28-day cycle, because it's 13 28-day moons, and then we have 1 day at a time. The day at a time is February the 6th. So if your birthday falls in this cycle, that's the energy that the additional energy you pick up for that year is whatever it is. Okay, so that's what's in that first column. So on here it starts with 160 and goes to 187. In the next column, we have notated our galactic portal opening days. That's a G. We have our X days, which is our Pacal Votum's Tomb Day. And then one that's not on here is our Mystic Column days. So we don't have, the Mystic Column is already done for this cycle. So the Pacal Votum Tomb Day, okay? A votum is a vow. So Pacal Votum is Saul, okay? And these days, these Pacal Votum's Tomb days, are the days when you make pledge to your creator. Which, if your creator is the same creator as Saul, which Saul was a Benjaminite. So yes, technically we work with the same creator. Okay, so that is a day where you make your vow. Now it's no coincidence that that day is also the same day as the Pisces full moon, when we're going to call out these entities. So again, this particular Pisces full moon is way more important than any other lunation we've dealt with. So I will be doing a video for that day with the elements and stuff on it, so we can make sure we get this right. But it's really important to note that that is the day, September the 7th. Okay, and it's a lunar eclipse, and it's a lot. Okay, so in the next column you'll see the 1 through 28. The Tzolk'in moons have 28 days. Okay, this is all in the 8th month. Yeah, this is all the 8th month, so that's why it's 1 through 28, but it's the 8th month of the Tzolk'in cycle. Okay, and then you have in the next column the dates. Now there's no special reason why the dates are colored in or not colored in. This is just to distinguish the dates. Now, as you can see in this cycle, we have 4 Sabbaths, and remember, the Sabbath is not a day where you do activity. So we have 2 different sets of Sabbaths going on. So I'm going to explain that in a minute. But as you can see, we have a Sabbath that's on the 28th of okay, so let me go back up. The first day of the galactic moon is the 22nd of August. Okay, on that day, that is when we do our finance ritual. And what is our classic, historic, black, native to the land finance ritual? Is black eyed peas and greens. So for me, on every first of the month, I will be having black eyed peas and greens. Okay, that's my traditional finance ritual that I've always done in my family on the first of the year. So I'm going to do that on the first of the month. We are in such dire straits financially, abundance wise, because of what they've been doing for a while. We need to do this on the first of every month. This is another reason why I'm telling you now. So on the 22nd, you can prepare your stuff so that you can infuse your family, your whoever it is, with your abundance ritual. Okay, now if you don't do black eyed peas and greens, y'all got something else in your family, whatever it is, you do it. But remember, you want to pair your abundance, which is your greens, with a protector from the evil eye, which is your black eyed peas. You want to put them together. Okay, it's really important not to be getting this abundance and then having these people come back and hit you with the evil eye and take it from you. So you got to do it together. It's really important. So that's the first. Okay, then let me talk about the Sabbath. So the Sabbath, and then also on the first is also like a Sabbath. So on this calendar, the Sabbath would have been the 21st. So on the 22nd is also like a Sabbath. Like the first day of a month is a month that is the day that you prepare yourself for the next 27 days. So that's not on here because it has to do with the first of the month. All right. Okay, so the Sabbath. So we have a Sabbath on the 28th of August, the 4th of September, the 11th of September is a Sabbath, and the 18th of September is a Sabbath. So whatever you do for your Sabbaths, that's what you do, okay? Those are the 4 Sabbaths for this month. Now, in the next column, that's just the column that has the S's, okay? And then you can see how the weeks are broken up. Okay, in the next column, we have our market schedule. All right, so what is a market schedule? In the in the Roman Empire, the market schedule was the days when you actually enforced contracts, where you did your marketing. So if you are a small business person, the market days for you are 9 days. 9 is the number that starts the cycle. It is the cosmic breath, okay? And so those are the days when you want to launch your products. As you can see in this month, we have 3 of those days where you do your public facing marketing. That is the 29th of August, the 7th of September, and then the 16th of September. Those are the 3 market days. Now, what did the people do on the other days, which is A1 through H8? They went to school, they did their regular stuff. They did not take new, special, important money-making ventures. They did not do those things on 1 through 8 days. They did those things on 9 days. Specifically, the 9th day was a day that they actually held market. They went to the market. So we are going to be watching these 9 days to see if, which I'm sure of it, the actual whatever market cycle outside of us, this will be the larger market, if those turn to be the most important days of the month. I can tell you right now for sure that 7th of I don't even know what day of the week that is because this calendar doesn't tell me that, but I should put that on here. Days a week. All right, I have to put that on here. Do I know what day that is? That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's Sunday. The 7th of September is Sunday. Okay. And the other one is Tuesday. The 16th of September is a Tuesday. Okay. All right. Anyway, not to be stressing myself over that. So the other days are days where you just go about your business, you do whatever it is. But if you have something that you want to birth, a project, an idea, a website, a business, those 9 days are the days that you launch those things on the outside. Okay. Now in the next column, we have the weeks. So in the Roman calendar, because they had 9-day weeks and not 7-day weeks, they only have 41, not even, it's really 40 and 1/2 weeks in a year. They did not have 52 weeks in a year. So the next column shows you the progression of the week. So we start the month in week 18, we go to 19, 20, and we end the month on week 21, but we haven't gotten all the way through 21. So that's just to line up again with the market days, so you can see how the cycle flows, because on your 9-day, your 9-day is when you reset. Like, it's when you reset everything, whatever it is, you reset on those 9 days. Now in the last column, that's the numerology. And something else important is the numerology does not go 1 through 8 or 1 through 9 in the whole year. It's only 4 times a year where the numbers go 1 through 8 and then 1 through 9. We start this month in that cycle of when the numbers are actually counting in order. No number skipped 1 through 8, and then it skips. It doesn't do 9. There's no 9 day numerologically until we get to the Pisces full moon, which is insane. But then it goes 1 through 8, and then it goes 1 through 9 without skipping any numbers. Because after you see after this, in this last column, after the 9 that's in the pink, we have an 11, 3, 4, 5, or 2, really. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, no 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. So I did the numerology for the whole year, and I'm telling you, it's 4 times a year when we have 1 through 8 and then 1 through 9. The first week is 1 through 8 without a 9 day, so there's no culmination day in that cycle. And then the 1 through 9, then we have a full culmination day. That's why September the 7th is going to be really, really important this year in particular, because of how these line up. Now, this stuff lines up like this every year, but these Tzolk'in numbers don't. Like the the Sabbaths might not be the same, because it depends on what day the year starts. So that's a mutable column. And also the Tzolk'in numbers. So not every time we get to the 7th of September are we going to have this Pacao Voltum's Tomb Day. We're also not always going to have the full moon. So there's some of the other stuff is fixed. And when I start talking about the last row, I'll start talking about that. So some of the stuff is fixed. Some of the stuff is mutable. I do not know anybody who could organize this like this to calculate or take into consideration the things that change, the mutable days, and also the things that don't change, in a way that you can literally keep this going. Like, once you understand where the hard stops are, how the cycles flow, it's going to become like second nature. So every one of these months, I'm going to go through the calendar, point some things out so that you can become familiar with this timeline. But the most important thing, as I already mentioned, you already do this stuff. This is not stuff that you don't do. This is just enforcing it. Like, the point of this calendar is to enforce the rules on this planet. So to this day, there has been nobody who can enforce nothing. All they can do is harass people, harass entities, challenge them, whatever, but they can't enforce them. So let's talk about this last column. Now, the last column has a lot of stuff in it, and I also took some notes so that we can go over it. So the first thing I want to point out is that we have the calendar. It's calends, right? Calends is on this calendar, it says a calends. That's the American calendar start, which would be the first of the month. Okay, the literal first day of September. That's the American calends, because I can't use the Roman calendar because this is not Rome. This is America. We do have our own calendar, so we do acknowledge that their calendar fits into our stuff. Okay. Oh, that's not Labor Day, is it? Now, I don't know. Let me not worry about that. But we're on the Tzolk'in cycle. So the very first thing on here, we have the galactic moon. Now, the reason why the first day of the month is important is because there are certain things that have to be done by the end of the month. So what are those things? Those are the things that you intend to do for your month. So when we talk more about that stuff, I'll make another video going over that because it's a little bit, I don't have all the details yet, but I had to do this for the purpose of the Nundines, not for the going over the moon. But on the first day of the cycle, okay, you set your intention and your goal for that cycle. On the Jubilee cycle, within 7 days, 7 days after the start of the month, you are looking for the things that you requested to be accomplished. And by halfway through the cycle, which is day 14 of the cycle, which is halfway through the cycle, you are reading these entities the riot act for not having completed what you told them to complete. Okay? In the regular calendar cycle, it's calculated differently. So depending on the month, it's either 4 or 7 days, between 4 and 7 days after the start of the month. That's when you basically, on their cycle, it's about receiving bills. So by the 4th to the 7th of the month, that's the day where you receive your bills. And then by the 15th of the month, that is when you make your payments. That's how the cycle is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, oh, you got to spend all your money on the first of the month. It's supposed to be you make all of your payments, settle all of your accounts by the 14th of the month. Basically. And they're doing everything all wrong. So basically they got the whole thing wrong. It's totally inept. It's totally inept the way they do things. And you got some people, now they've got everything's due on every single day. Like, there's no consistency when stuff is supposed to be due by, when they send your bills, none of that. So really, technically, you should not be receiving any bills before the 1st of the month, and you should have until the 14th of the month to settle them. That's how it's supposed to be. Anything other than that, these companies and these entities are out of alignment, and you have to push back on them energetically, because there's nothing you can do in the physical realm. Like, just X that out. But you can push back on them energetically by saying, I'm not doing nothing until the 15th of the month. And if it's late every month, it is what it is. I'm not stressing myself out when I'm supposed to have 15 days to figure this out. They know that. They deliberately do this stuff so that you will always be on edge. Okay, so let's go through this month. The first of this cycle is the 22nd of August. Of course, like I said, this is the galactic moon. A lot of energy on this day. And this is a day that, again, is a non-work day. Like, it's the first of the month. It's a non-work day. You are supposed to be preparing your energy for the month. So if you can, lighten your load for that day. Let it be easy for you. Set your intention with your black eyed peas, your black eyed peas and your greens, or whatever financial abundance ritual that you intend to do for that day. That's going to be really important. And astrologically, there's a lot of stuff going on. So we have Uranus and Sedna at 1 degrees of Gemini, Saturn at Neptune at 1 degrees of Aries, and Pluto at 1 degrees of Aquarius. This is like a mini grand trine that's going on. We also have Venus at 27 degrees trine the Black Moon Lilith at 27 degrees of Leo. No. Cancer trine Black Moon Lilith at 27 degrees of Scorpio. So it's it's going to be a very heavy, energetic day. Not a day when you should be putting a bunch of stuff, trying to do a bunch of stuff. Like, that's just not a good idea. Okay. The very next day we have our Virgo new moon at 0 degrees. Of course, if you ordered your basket from me, you already have your stuff and you're ready to go. If not, figure out what you're going to do to observe this new moon. The moon and the sun are going to be square Uranus and Sedna on that day. So this is also going to be a very high energetic day. On the 23rd, on the 24th, we have Mars trine Pallas Athena. So Mars, our willpower, trine Pallas Athena, our wisdom. That's going to be in a very flowing energy. Then on the 26th, we have Venus trine Neptune and Saturn, sextile Uranus and Sedna, and opposite Pluto. So this is going to be a different kind of trine. Now, we had a mini grand trine that's still going to be basically going on this whole month with Uranus and Sedna, Saturn and Neptune and Pluto. Now we have another trine where Venus is also in the mix. On the 28th, that's our Zolkin no Nones. That's when basically whatever you ask for with the new moon should start to show up. That's when you should start to get your answers, figure it out, make sure it's going to be working right, make any necessary adjustments to what you ask. That's when those things should be starting to show up. Okay. Venus is also going to be square the moon, and the sun is going to be sextile Apollon. We haven't talked a lot about Apollon, but I will mention that Apollon is the devil. So this is, again, this is where, and the sun is going to be in a flowing energy to Apollon. So if there's negative things that you need to be done, again, those things should start to show up. The sun is going to protect you as you communicate that message to Apollon to get off his hind parts and get the job done. Okay. It's not a negotiation. This is the schedule. Okay. On the 29th, we have Jupiter trine and sextile the nodes, and the black moon Lilith is also going to be trine and sextile the nodes in a grand trine. So there's a lot of energy that's going to be going on with the nodes, the black moon, Jupiter. So consult your favorite astrologer for that. All right, on the 31st of August, we have the sun trine Cupido. Now, Cupido is the abundance of the planet. So that's literally the literal abundance of the planet. We have the sun coming into a flowing energy with the abundance from the planet. Okay. And then the very next day, September the 1st, is the church new year, which is amazing. This is the day. Now, remember, the church new year is what? Is when you submit your request, when you submit your contract to the creator to see if it's going to be accepted. And so that will be the day that, if you like me and you write it down and you keep track, that will be the day where you would have that written down and ready to go, because you will know if it's going to be accepted when you make your vow coming up here on the 7th. Okay, so the next day is on the 3rd of September. We have Uranus and Sedna square Mercury. We have the moon square Mars, and we have Jupiter square Mars. So that's going to be there's a lot. And remember, squares are not bad. Squares are check-in points to see, again, if what you asked for with this Virgo new moon at the start of the month is showing up. Why do I know that for a fact? The very next day, on the 4th of September, is the Zolkin Ides. And remember what I said the Ides are. The Ides are literally when what you ask for have to be paid out. Like what you're looking to get have to be given to you, period. It has to be given to you. On this day, also on the 4th of September, Apollon is going to be in a flowing energy to Cupido. Now, remember what I said. Apollon is Satan, like literally the devil. Cupido is literally Jesus, like the abundance of this planet. So those things are going to be in a flowing energy to make sure, again, you get what you asked for on this Virgo new moon at the start of the month, okay? The next day we have, on the 5th of September, we have the American nones. That's what I say. And so basically, this is when you should be getting started, preparing to make your payments or whatever it is you owe to this American government and this American system. That's when you start to come up with your plan and make sure everything gets done, okay? On the 6th of September, we have, that's a 9-day now. That's a really, if you can, so this, because this is a numerological 9-day, this is for yourself. So you would use this day to market to yourself, or to market yourself to yourself. Like, this is the person that I want to become. And we'll talk more about this because this is very new information. This is the day where you market yourself to yourself. You say, I'm doing a great job at X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth. You take the time to evaluate who you are on the inside. So the market days is on the outside, but the numerology is for you on the inside to make sure that to check in with yourself. So you have 9 days this month where you would check in for yourself. This is where I would do self-care, shadow work, anything like that that needs to be done where you have to physically sit with yourself and figure something out. Those are the 2 best days where you're going to have the best results. Okay. And also Cupido is going to be trining Mercury, which Cupido is what? The abundance. Mercury is what? Your intellect. So again, pouring into yourself, like the astrology confirms the calendar. Okay. The day after that, that's the 7th. That's our pack out votes and tune day. That's our 9 day. That's our market day. Also our Pisces full moon. So that day is going to be a high energetic day to launch products, launch things, get things started, especially putting yourself out there. So we're going to have I have an entrepreneurship class that I'm working on. That's more than likely it'll be launched on that day because of the energy for that day. All right. The next day, the 8th of September, is the nativity of the Theotokos. That's a Orthodox fixed holiday. And also it's our Lunar New Year. So everybody's been saying, oh, it's the year of the snake. It's the year of the snake. I've seen people literally say it don't feel like the year of the snake. And I'm like, it doesn't, because we haven't even got to the Lunar New Year yet. You guys are so crazy. So but the Lunar New Year is coming. So basically, that's when we're going to start to see that snake energy really seriously come up at again on the 8th of September with the start of the Lunar New Year. And then on the 9th of September, you have the Black Moon in opposition to Chiron. So again, your Black Moon is all your deepest, darkest desires for you to take care of yourself, all of that. Now, mind you, if you did all of this stuff, let me just point this out for a minute. If you started this cycle, this galactic moon cycle with what you want, what you need, then the Virgo moon energy and the nones and all the stuff that's already come up, by the time you get to this Black Moon opposite Chiron, you're going to be straight. But the people who don't do the work, who are not on this alignment with this schedule, they're going to have a very bad day. It's not going to be a good day for them, and they're not going to be able to recover, because now we have moved into the year of the snake. And so that angel, that entity that you believe is an angel, is 9 times out of 10 going to be a demon. And these people are not going to understand that they're literally interacting with demons. And when you try to tell them, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. It's like, no, you don't understand. That's a demon. They're like, no, it's not. And you'll be like, well, all right, just keep it moving, because that Black Moon is your inner, not just your willpower, but your literal who you are deep down inside. But if you start at the beginning of this moon cycle declaring that deep down inside, I'm abundant, I am good enough, I'm loved, with these self-care days, by the time you get to that, you're not going to have a problem. It's going to be cool. Okay, so that's the Black Moon and Chiron going to be conjunct, because your Chiron is what? He's a wounded healer. So it's literally your wounds out on display. So if you don't have no wounds, because what? You follow the Zolkin Nonones, you follow the Zolkin Ides, you got all those entities in you cleaned up and on a calendar, on a cycle of when they're supposed to produce for you. Hey, they don't have there's nothing for that energy to reflect back to you that's of a negative, it's not going to be negative. It's not going to have anything to throw at you. Okay. All right. So on 9/11, you got to watch out for those people. That is a Sabbath. So again, I would be taking it easy, and that's always Sabbath. Well, maybe not always, but it's for sure Sabbath on this year. So I would be taking it easy on 9/11 and not getting into it with nobody. You're also going to have the sun, conjunct the South Node and opposite the North Node. So who even knows what's going to be happening? I would be not involved, is my suggestion. It is a Sabbath day, so it is a day of rest, and you don't know how much rest you might be doing on that day, honestly. All right, so the next day we have is the 14th of September. That's the exaltation of the cross. It's also the American Ides, which again is not a good day for them. It's not a good day for these people. And you have the moon square the sun. It's not going to be a good day for them, because remember, if the cross is exalted, that means they have no kingdom to rule over, because Jesus, our brother, is the ruler of this world. And so if the cross is exalted, they don't have no world to rule over, because this is not their world to rule over. These negative entities, these parasites or whatever, this is Satan. It's not his world to rule over. He got to get in line and do what we say to do. He has a place. Everyone has a place. Everyone is welcome. Jesus said, come to me and I will give you rest. Of course, I will give you the living water, all of that. But he didn't say, come to my planet and destroy it because you hate everybody and everything here. He did not say that. And therefore, if the cross is exalted, that means that they don't have no power. Okay, so that's a really big holiday. A lot of y'all probably never heard of it, so we'll talk about that. Okay, so on the 15th of September we have the moon. It's the 15th yeah, the 15th of September is also Galactic Portal Day. I didn't mention all the Galactic Portal Days, but I will have the short 1-minute videos on the portal days to synchronize the time. So that's what the point of the portal days is to synchronize the time with the Creator. We're all on the same time clock. Okay, I said the 15th, right? So that on that day, the moon is going to be trying to pollen. So again, that negative energy is going to be trying its thing. But guess what? The cross has already been exalted, so it's not going to yield fruit. Again, if you follow what I'm saying, it's not going to yield fruit. Okay, and just give me a chance. If you don't believe the stuff that I say, I go too far, well, just give me a chance for this month, please. I'm begging you, give me a chance to prove my calendar to you. Okay, the only way you can do it is if you follow it. If you follow it and it don't work, feel free, unsubscribe and never come back to my channel again. But I promise you, if you give me 1 month, just 1 month of following my calendar, you will be fine. You will not believe the things that will happen to you. So I put my whole everything on the line for this. Okay, I don't want people to suffer, and I don't want people to suffer because they got a problem with me. Just give me a try. Give my calendar and the way I organize things a try and see if it works for you. Okay, all right, that's what I'm always going to say about this. All right, so on the 16th of September, you have Mars opposite Chiron, you have Vesta opposite Uranus and Sedna, sextile Pluto, and trine Saturn and Neptune. That is going to be a big energy. So when you think about Mars opposite Chiron, that's your willpower opposite your wounds. And I wasn't even going to talk about Vesta because Vesta has some other things going on this month. But because Vesta is your sacred flame of yourself. So your willpower is going to be checked by Chiron, and your sacred flame of yourself is going to be checked by Uranus and Sedna. Is going to be trine or sextile by Pluto and trine by Saturn and Neptune. That's a lot of energy. And again, if you start tending the sacred flame of yourself at the start of this month with this cycle, this is going to be good for you. Like, this will be just fine. But if you don't, it's not going to be good. Please don't learn this lesson and say, well, I'm just going to let it be a bad month. And no. Just, it's a few things to pay attention to in the beginning of the month. It's one main thing. The first of the month, have you some black eyed peas and greens. Do your abundance ritual on the first day of this monthly cycle, which is on the 22nd of August. Do that. If you do nothing else for the rest of the month, you will be in alignment. You will already have set yourself up. You don't have to do everything all at once. Just do one thing. Please do your first of the month cycle on the 22nd of August. Okay. All right, so the last thing on this calendar is the 17th of September, and that's going to be a Venus sextile Mars. That's going to be a really good energy. You have the Venus and Mars, and they're in a nice conversation, and things will all come together, and that's the last major alignment. That's a 2-day alignment. That's why I didn't mention it on the 18th as well. That's a good thing. And my birthday is on the 18th. So the next cycle, the next video for the cycle will probably be out. More than likely, it'll be out by the 7th, so that you can be prepared for the next cycle. I don't think there's any declarations we have to do in the next cycle. Otherwise, it might be a little bit earlier because you got to give them 3 nun days before you change anything. So more than likely you'll see the next video for the next moon, the 9th moon, on around September the 7th. And again, that's a vow day. It's going to be a lot of videos explaining how to do all this stuff. But I wanted to put this out here because we have 3 nun days before we have to take this vow, make this vow. It's a very important vow day. So, and we don't get one of these every month. Like this very irregular. Like they're not every X, Y, and Z every month. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. And so it could be a month where we have no vow days. It could be a month where we have several vow days. There's some vow days that are back to back. We don't know exactly how this cycle works, which is why it's really important to start. I mean, this doesn't feel like starting small to me, but I know that it is. This is starting small. This is starting slow. This is putting the effort out here to let the Creator know, look, we understand his time schedule. We know that things are in order. Now we know how to check these entities, and he can go about the business that has to be done, and not to be worried about us every 5 seconds. And the more people who adopt this calendar as the way that they operate, the better it is for humanity, because everybody will get in line. It doesn't take a lot of people to observe this for it to be impactful. So that's my reason for making this so early, putting it out here. Look for more videos on the subject to come. Plus I have to do an actual, I'm going to do it's called Vespers, actually, when you don't take communion. So I'm going to do a Vespers that's going to go on this channel and also on my St Philomena Laity Trust channel. And also this video is also going to go on my Daylight Astrology channel. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you know, if you want to, you know, kind of separate it out, you don't want to hear my meanderings about all this other stuff, follow my Daylight Astrology channel. That's only the astrology stuff. Follow the St Philomena channel. That's only the church religious stuff. You don't have to be over here with me in the weeds meandering around. It's not necessary. But there's a place for everybody. Like, nobody has to feel like I am attacking them or anything like that. I want people to be successful. And if I feel like this is a key to success, I'm not going to hoard it for myself like some people do. I'm not going to lie about it, and I'm not going to put a toll booth so that, oh, you got to pay and buy this and buy that so that you can get in alignment. Absolutely not. I'm not doing none of that. I got the full print out of this. It's just not ready yet because I need to put in here what day of the week. I didn't even think about that. So I need to go back, put the days of the week in here. Like, this is really confusing because it has no days of the week. All right. So I'm going to have to add this in. So it's just not ready yet. Okay. Just in general, it's not ready yet for mass consumption. Plus, I'm going to end up doing, if you guys remember, I used to do the cosmic weather. I could do the cosmic weather from this. Like, I know exactly how those guys did it. Even though they took it down off their website, they put a toll booth up so we could not access it and use it for our benefit. I figured it out. Okay. So there's no hard feelings towards any of these people, but we got to move forward. We got to move fast, and we have to put our best foot forward to get this stuff done, get in order, because as soon as we're in alignment, everybody else will come in alignment and it will be no question. So shalom, peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next video.